tick. So this is about money and percentages. This is what we're dealing with now here. So you can get questions on rate. Then ratio. Now there was 4 methods of ratio that you learned. To simplify it in a certain ratio. Missing terms, where we say the boys to the girls is in the ratio 3:4, for instance. And there are 16 girls. How many boys are there? So this is missing terms. You have one of the terms you have. The next one is when we share in a certain ratio. So if we share in the ratio 3:4, then we have to add that ratio. So the one gets 3/7 of something, and the other one get 4/7 of something. And then we can increase or decrease in a certain ratio. What do we do when we increase? The biggest one is at the top. No, you don't add them. You put the biggest one at the top, so then it's 4/3. If you want to decrease, you put the smallest one at the top, and there's an automatic increase or decrease on that one. Another thing that we need to remember is percentages. Remember, whenever you see that sign, it is over 100 percentages. And then the other method is to find a percentage. Then we multiply with 100/1. That's how you find the percentage. You see the percentage, you put it over 100. The next one is proportion. We get direct and indirect proportion. So direct proportion, the graph looks like this. The more you buy, the more you pay. So to get your constant, it is y over x. Indirect proportion is when I asked you, for instance, to paint the school. So we can say if 10 people is painting the school, it will take 6 days. But if there's only one person who has to do the job, then we need to say my constant is x times y. I multiply to find that one person. And this is a hyperbola that you will get out from there. So proportion, then bills. They can ask you bills. They can ask you tax, questions on tax and bills. And we said now the percentage, then currency, converting it into certain currencies. And that you will also do with missing terms then there. So let's look at the worksheet. Right, so there's the first one now. Okay, Shahida buys a dress costing $27.40 and a scarf costing $5.68. She pays with a $50 note. How much change should she receive? So you just subtract everything from 50, isn't it? Very easy. And I got 16.92. Remember, money is 2 decimal places. They're going to penalize you if you don't do that. 3/5 of the 240 apples in a barrel are bad. How many good apples are there? So you can calculate the bad ones and subtract it, or we can calculate the good ones, which will be 2/5 of that 240. We can do it like that. So how many good ones are there? Well, yeah, 96. 96. The population size of Namibia was this in 1991 and that in 2001. By how much did it increase? So that's just subtracting the 2. I got 4,20410. But now they say calculate the percentage population increase. Now this is always profit or loss on the cost price times 100/1. Always on the cost price. So it will be this profit on which one? 1991, isn't it? On the original one. This is the original one times 100/1. And I have 29 29.8%. 29.8%. Right, question 4. 4 men in a half marathon team were timed. There's all their times respectively. Calculate the difference in time taken by the fastest and the slowest runner in the team. So which one was the slowest one? Obviously this one, isn't it? And the fastest one? That one, isn't it? That one is the fastest one. So if we subtract the two, the time, remember there's only 60 minutes in an hour. If we subtract it, the difference is 20 minutes between the two there. Then calculate the total time taken by the team in hours and minutes. So we just have to add all 4. Again, remember there's only 60 minutes in an hour. So if you change it, what did you get? Yeah. Yeah, that I got 42 minutes. 7 hours and 42 minutes. Leroux, you? Okay, number C. Write your answer to part B in hours. How am I going to change this now to hours? How many minutes in an hour? 60. So we're going to say it is 7 point, and then come on your calculators. What is 42 divided by 60? Point? 42 divided by 6. Yeah, so it is 7.7 as in hours, only in hours. Yeah, you can, but it depends on your calculator. Some of the calculators have that time button. Yeah, it's actually easier to just do it like this, but you can set it for time. I think you'll have to change the mode. What's always difficult there is you change the mode, then you forget to change it back, and then the rest of the stuff goes in that. So that's why I just prefer to do it like this. And now they say the average time. So what is average? Total divided by frequency. So that means we're going to add all here we have it already, the time, isn't it? And we divide it by the 4 athletes, isn't it? So actually, you can just use this one, 7.7, divide by the 4 athletes, and then we get the average, and the average is 1.925. Look, they say in hours, so I don't need to change it now back to minutes. I can just work with hours there. I use that total time and divide by the 4 candidates, the 4 runners. The price of a jacket is 250. During a sale, the jacket's price is reduced by 15%. Calculate the selling price. Now, here's always 2 methods. We can say 15%. Look, that sign means over 100 of the 250. Then we get the reduction, and then you still have to subtract it. Or you can first subtract it from 100% and then calculate the price automatically. So we can also say 85% of 250, and then you'll also get it. So I get it here that the reduction is 37.50, and then if I subtract the 2, my final answer is then $212.50. $212.50 for that one. Right. The next one. 3 friends, Jen, Rihanna, and Lee, are planning a weekend away at Swakopmund. They will use Lee's car, and Rihanna does all the bookings. They decide to share the weekend's expenses in the ratio 3 to 2 to 1. So there's the ratio now there. Their total budget is $3,150. How much must Rihanna contribute? This is sharing. This is sharing. So if we add here, it gives us 6, isn't it? You add the ratio. So what does Rihanna get? 2/6 of the 3,150, which is what? Yeah, 1050. Yes. The distance from their hometown to Swakopmund is 600 kilometers. The price of fuel is $8 per liter, long ago. And lease car uses 1 liter for every 12 kilometers. So calculate how much they should budget for fuel. So how do we do this one? Every 12 kilometers, you use 1 liter of petrol, isn't it? So I'll have to divide the 600 kilometers by the 12 to find out how many liters I'm going to use. And then we multiply it with the price of 8. So $400 for fuel. At a restaurant in Swakop, they pay a tip of 10% of their total bill to the waitress. Now look at this one. The bill is 345. That's the final sum. How much does the waitress receive? Now, she gets 10% of that. So it is just 10%. Look again, the moment when we see that sign, we put it over 100 of 345. 10% of 345, and that is then $34.50. Look at it, 2 decimal places. Money, 2 decimal places. That's very important there. They pay $1,140 for accommodation after a $60 discount. How much should they pay without the discount? Must you now add or subtract? No, this is the discount. So originally they should have paid more, isn't it? If you get $60 back, you pay $60 less, then you add the 60 to there. That was the original account there. So it's $1,200. That was the bill. Minus the 60 is now that 1,140. They'll cheat you if you don't know this. Then calculate the percentage discount. Now, look, I've showed you the formula already. Profit or loss on the cost price times 100 over 1. We must first find that discount. Okay, but in this case, they told us it was $60. So it's 60 on what? The original amount. Which one is now the original? No, this is the original amount. That is when what you pay after the reduction, so you calculated it on this one. So over 1,200, and to find percentage, we times with 100 over 1. To find the percentage, you times with 100 over 1. What is the answer? 5 point? I got 5.26. No. You're right. It is 5%. It is 5%. Right, after the weekend, the remaining money is shared amongst them in the same ratio. Lee receives 45. Sorry, let's just go. Okay, here we are. After the weekend, so it was in the ratio, let me just get the names again. It was 3 to 2 to 1, and this one is Lee, the last one, and he gets 45. So how much money remains after the weekend is shared out? So I need to find out what was Rihanna and Jen's money, isn't it? To get that. So if Lee gets 45, it means she's going to get 90. And this one is going to get, Jen is going to get 135. So now we can add it and subtract it from the original that you have there, and my answer here is 270. That's what that remains. How much remains after the weekend before it is shared out? Okay. Right, let's go to the next page. Question 7. In 2000, Peter bought a house for 250,000. Write this in standard form. Right, Michelle, what is this in standard form? What is standard form? 1 digit times 10 to the power of n. Only 1 digit, only one number. So what will it be? 2.5. There is the 1 digit. That is the 1 digit. 2.5 times 10 to the power of 5. In 2004, Peter sold the house and made a profit of 35%. For how much did he sell the house? So again, we'll calculate the 35% of the 250,000. And then we have to add it. To get the selling price, we have to add that amount there. So this gives you 87,500. Gives you 87,500. And then if we add the two, the final answer here is 337,500. Peter decided to give 200,000 of his money to his 3 children, Anna, Ben, and Krista. Anna received 3/8 of the money. Ben receives 100,000 and Krista gets the rest. And now we have to calculate what Anna and Krista gets. So this is just 3/8 of the 200,000. 3/8 of the 200,000, which is what? 1575. Oh, no, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong place because this answer is in pulas. So no, 75,000. Sorry. And then Krista. So now you just subtract it from 200,000 and it is 25,000 for Krista. 25,000 for Krista. Write down the ratio of money received by Anna, Ben, and Krista. I'll give your answer in its simplest form. So if I compare it now, Anna got 75,000. I'm going to cancel the zeros immediately. Ben gets 100,000 and Krista gets 25,000. So I've cancelled the zeros and now I have to find the highest common factor that can divide into each one there, which will obviously be 25, isn't it? So if I divide 25 in there, it's 3 to 4 to 1. 3 to 4 to 1. That is what that one is. Mr. Ngani went from Windhoek to Johannesburg via Botswana. He needed to change so many dollars to Pula and the rate is, okay, so always write down your ratio. It is 1 to 1.05. And he changes $1,500 missing terms. We do this with missing terms. So you multiply with bottom divide by top. And this one is then 1575 Pula. 1575 Pula. Johannesburg is 1,400 kilometers from Windhoek. It took Mr. Hengani 15 hours and 30 minutes to reach Johannesburg. Calculate his speed. What is speed? Look at the triangle. Remember, this is distance, speed, and time. So what is speed? Distance over time. You'll divide the distance with the time. But now the time is, okay, it's 15 hours and 30 minutes, which is what? Yeah, 15.5. We change the minutes to hours, okay? And what is then his speed? Yeah, I got 90.3 kilometers per hour. 3 significant figures. We round off to 3 significant figures. Right, number C. Number C. On a map with a scale of 1 to 50,000, the distance from Gobabis to the local airfield is 10 centimeter. So it means, again, it's going to be with missing terms. This one is 10 centimeter. So you have to multiply there with bottom divide by top. But yeah, they don't say if we have to give it in kilometers. Oh, the real distance, so it will probably be in kilometers. So if I multiply 50,000 now by 10, then I get 500,000. But remember, this is now in centimeters. Okay. And what will there's 5 zeros in a centimeters in a kilometer. There's 50 centimeters. Come, Mrs. Geography. Okay. So, but what do we get? Right. So this is then 5 kilometers. But the answer is right. It is 5 kilometers. Okay. Then the next page. Okay, the last page there. The cost of 1 kilogram of oranges is 2.16. Find the cost of 3.5. So you just multiply it with that one. We just multiplied, and I got 7.56. Then how many kilograms of oranges can be bought for $10? What must we do now? You'll have to divide this one by 2.16. We'll have to divide that one then there. And what is it? Yeah, you can buy 5 there. Then in March 2008, 1 Namibian dollar was worth so many US dollars. Okay, so again, we write the ratio 1 to 0.12 and 3,250. How much will it be there in US dollars? I think at this stage, the currency rate is 1 to 15. So multiply with bottom, divide by top. So you're actually going to multiply here. And how much is it? Not much. 390 US dollars. 390 US dollars. In July 2008, 1 Namibian dollar was worth so many US dollars, and she changed her US dollars back now. So now the currency rate is 1 to 0.14. She comes back with 390 US dollars. What is it in Namibian dollars? So this time, multiply with bottom, divide by top. Now it's a division sum. This time you're going to divide. And the answer is then 464.29. I think you've already subtracted it also. So if I convert it here, it gives me 2785.71. And then you have to subtract it from the original amount there. So that's why her final answer then is 464.29 Namibian dollars. There's quite a lot of questions on social arithmetic.